So now that we have a sense for what data is in the context of statistics, we're going to break down and categorize data a bit more exactingly in this section. So first, we're going to look at the difference between qualitative and quantitative data as two very broad categories, where qualitative data, because statisticians are very creative with naming convention, is qualities. It's descriptors that don't have inherent value to them. They don't have some inherent valuation associated to it. It just is. Like saying that this shirt has green on it, or this shirt is gray, or my hair is mostly brown, or my eyes are hazel. I don't know why I'm stuck on colors. But what we're looking at here are just broad labels that give descriptions but don't tell you anything about a value associated to those descriptions. Meanwhile, quantitative data is data that has both that sense of a label and also a value attached to it. These are things like measurements and counts. So things like height, that I am 6'1", or weight, that I weigh about 210 pounds, or temperature, that the human body is about 98.6 degrees, or that it's about 73 degrees in my apartment currently. Here, these are values, and these values have a weight to them in a sense. Weight has a weight to it. Wow, it's very creative, isn't it? But the idea here is that you can make direct comparisons. You could say that 50 degrees Fahrenheit is less than 55 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas you can't compare, say, the color red to the color blue in terms of an objective valuation, although I'm sure some people would make arguments about that. But, well, those are more opinions, but the more I talk about this, the more I start to sound like Ben Shapiro in my head, and I don't like that. Anyway, the idea here is a distinction about whether or not the descriptions we look at have value associated for comparison, or they kind of don't. For another sort of example you can think about, look at, say, a basketball player like LeBron James. Usually, at least right now, his jersey number is 23. So you might think about that. You see the number and you think that's a quantitative measurement. But bear in mind that that number 23 doesn't actually have comparative value to the fact that his teammates may have the number 1 or the number 0 or whatever other number on their jersey. His isn't greater or lesser because it is the number 23. That 23 is actually just a descriptor. That would actually be qualitative. On the other hand, the number of points he scores in a game, the number of assists he gets, those are quantitative because those are comparative numerical measurements.